Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
The surface. Hey, there it is.
Ooh, that's a solid IPA. That's a solid IPA.
Good deal.
Big nose.
Oh, beautiful.
The colors on that thing.
It's going to come back to the
It's gonna come back full.
That was a nice one, huh?
It was too. Mighty tasty.
Is that the one that we just netted?
It is. It is. It actually came back full.
That's why they call it Swamp Head. Welcome to the pregame show of Fish Talk Live.
Welcome, welcome.
As you can see, the tides are a bit high at the moment, but they have started receding. So they've gone down 4 or 5 inches quick.
Something like that.
So we'll don't worry, guys. Citrus County will still be afloat. But check your neighborhoods for some good fishing action.
You really never know what's going to be crossing those roads.
Thankfully, Captain Mario spotted that
big nose out there.
That big nose, and
Yeah,
it was
that was
like,
a good
hey,
catch.
1 o'clock, throw it nice, about 30 yards, work it slow. And he said, I got the net. Don't worry about it from here. So this is just the pregame show. It's where we welcome everybody aboard. Let us know if you're here. Dale, you're telling me.
Typical.
They're crazy. Let us know if y'all are here. We're going to welcome you, and then we'll get started with the show here soon. Tyler, Jacobs, whatever you're...
Brisket. Brisket was on the menu tonight.
Yes, so M&B Dairy, along with a lot of small businesses, the seafood seller,
Yeah.
Jimmy Stoltz, so many different businesses chipped
Community
in
came
this
together
past
again.
weekend and did an awesome fundraiser for the deputy that got hit after that graduation. So, thank you guys for everything that you did this past weekend. But that brisket you saw Billy munching down
A
on,
little bit of leftovers.
that was a part of that fundraiser. So
Just as good a few days later.
it is even better sometimes.
I do agree, Dale. Swamp Head is right on point.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's not my flavor. But fun fact, Modelo is the #1 selling beer in the United States of America at the
How
moment.
about it? Congrats, Modelo.
About it. Jessica, how are you?
Pretty good beer.
All right, who else is out there? Let us know what are the Poppy.
Hey.
Ozzy, we're not going to ask you about the tides. But-
Yeah. Hopefully you're floating.
Yeah, you know what? Between him and Larry, they've got the recoveries going. He's ready to rock. So
Good.
they got second place over the weekend in the first of that summer series from the Florida Redfish Series, which Captain Mario is going to be talking to the first place winners here shortly. We'll get more into that here soon. But again, this is just the pregame show. We want to welcome you all aboard. So let us know if you're here. Let us know, what are the tide levels at y'all's house if you live on the coastal areas.
That's it.
Let us know what it looks like. You saw in the beginning what it looked like here.
A bit deep.
In deep.
And deep.
In deep. The In Deep episode on New Waters just hit 50,000 views.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Thank y'all.
Have y'all watched the new episode of In Deep? By chance, Chasing Emerald Reds. Jacob Imhoff was in it, starring Jacob Imhoff.
He made a great push-pull.
All right, let us know if you're here. We're going to get into the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week here in what do you think, Sean? 45 seconds?
Somewhere in there. I'm excited to see what people got this week.
Let's jump into the Catch of the Week.
I think I will.
Because we never go to the commercial for Catch of the Week.
That was absolutely amazing. Just about as nice as this redfish caught right there. Very nice, Mr. Newman. Beautiful red.
Alejandro.
Very nice. Out there on the
Beautiful
kayak
redfish.
getting it done. Happy to see some people made it out this week.
Those shrimp looked a bit
That is a
toasty.
beautiful redfish. At least in the colors.
Those were some of my clients from
That was on your
St.
boat?
Augustine, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was
I didn't know you knew how to fish.
every now and then.
Nice.
I just follow Mario around, truthfully.
Very nice. That was on Gene Miller's boat.
Look at that deep red.
Dark redfish. That's beautiful. Been some really nice ones out there too. So happy to see him getting hooked up. Very nice. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I know exactly where this was because I moved every redfish after that fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
That was a fun trip. All lasted.
Captain Gene playing in some freshwater there.
It's a weird looking redfish.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's kind of like a mix of a red and gag.
Ditch pickle.
Ditch pickle.
Old ditch pickle.
The hell is that thing? Is that a mud minnow?
That is not caught in Ozello, but very nice fish.
Believe it or not, that was only in 30 feet west of here.
What?
Or a little further southwest of here.
That is awesome.
Who was that again, Sean?
Fish are on the move.
Jake Frederick.
Jake Frederick. Very
with a
nice.
Gulf Mahi.
Bet it made for a delicious sandwich.
Someone was just asking me the other day when they typically see the Mahi, and I said,
Sadly, I
have no
don't get
idea.
to see him on tour, so I couldn't give him an answer.
What the heck is that thing?
The little mangrove? What is that? Oh, it is a cute little red. Very nice. Big catch.
See,
big
Captain
catch.
Teddy could make that thing look huge. He's got to extend
You
those
gotta
arms a
learn how
little.
to use those arms.
Always show your elbows.
Happy to see it. Very nice,
Greg,
Greg.
look at him.
Good.
Man, he's got one of those
The girth on
OG
that thing.
OKM hats too.
One of the originals.
Yeah, which we have more of those styles coming in soon.
Awesome. Awesome.
Jessica.
Jessica, very nice in the hook. Very nice. Sadly out of season. Very
Jimmy
nice,
Milton.
Jimmy. That is a beautiful colored redfish. I know the sunset had a little bit to do with it, but it's a good looking shot.
Wait, can we back up one photo by chance? Billy, is that a sunset or a sunrise?
Ooh. Actually, now that you mention, that's going to be a sunrise. That Gulf's wide open in the back.
Mario?
Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. First thing in the morning.
That's Jimmy from Florida Redfish Series.
It's good fish, too.
That's true.
well,
that is
all
very
depends
true.
on where
Sean
you're
had
at.
a good point.
Yeah.
If
Could've
he's
been
in the panhandle.
He's drinking water. That's a sunrise photo.
Solid. Solid.
That's why I love having Mario. He digs into this shit.
Analyzing it.
There we go. That was a
Little
Father's
broski
Day.
out there.
And that was such a fun day. Went out to Sandy Hook and then
Always good to see youngins out there.
came
catching
in and
fish.
argued a little bit because Brody didn't think we were fishing was going to be productive. And then, but he got it done.
Awesome.
That's Jimmy Milton's friend
Nice,
there.
Very nice. Looks like you got a good fishing partner up there.
Found
Better
some nice
spot of that
reds.
red. Good fish. That is a beautiful fish.
So that's Kirby, but look at that perfect heart on that tail.
Yes. Yeah. Nice calm waters too. I bet that was a pretty afternoon.
I would save that photo for Valentine's Day. I mean, that is a perfect heart. Look at that thing.
That's awesome. Very
Miss
nice.
Kristen. Nice red. Greg,
Happy to
I'm
see them
pretty,
getting out doing some fishing.
pretty sure I saw Greg passing by the Homosassa property
Oh, really?
2 or 3 days ago. Yeah.
Going to dip into some freshwater springs? Very
Captain
nice.
Mario.
Good looking redfish.
Mr. Mikey.
And after talking to you a little bit earlier today, I knew exactly where that was too.
I just like the big old hanger on the redfish's tail.
Yes.
Looks like Brianna's dog Diablo after he gets done drinking.
That's funny.
Another one of mine.
Really nice redfish.
Very nice. That was a good day.
Oh yeah.
Still shrimp?
Yes.
Shrimp the hot bite?
There's another one of mine. Holy smokes.
Very nice.
I'm making the reel today.
It caught some good fish. There's a reason for it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Gosh.
Another one?
Oh yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, that island, I can almost tell exactly where you're at there, Mario.
This is the same place as that first photo.
The sunglasses look photoshopped. Is that a real photo?
That's a real picture. Yeah.
That's cool. Gorgeous photo.
That's not Teddy?
Out there practice gagging.
Captain Teddy Choupé.
Very nice.
Shoot.
It's a choupette.
Shoop-a-loop. Captain Teddy with another nice red fat. They flew
Very
down
nice.
from Chicago, I think, right? For a
I think I
Father's
even
Day
have a
fishing
koozie.
trip with Captain
Very
Teddy.
nice. Very nice. They went out and did some exploring and a little bit of that practice fishing, waiting on September to come.
There it is. What kind of bait's in that fish's mouth?
Oh yeah, there you go. Learn it. No, he wasn't playing too deep in the skiff.
But
Very
alrighty,
nice.
guys. So that was the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week. We're going to go ahead and get started with the show. So right after the intro, whoop, whoop. It's just
shoot.
Choupette.
I could have swore there was a T on that.
His charter should be it's justchoupette.com.
Yeah.
Just shoot.
Captain Teddy Shoop with Real Addict Fishing Charters. All right, guys, we're going to get started with the show, and when we come back, we've got a whole bunch of cool stuff happening, so stay tuned.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
This is Fish Talk Live.
Yeah, there it is. Welcome to
Fish Talk Live.
Presented by
One and only, the only.
Phillips Auto Group. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Fish Talk Live. We've got an awesome show ahead because we've got a brand new tournament that Captain Mario Castello over there on the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch is going to
Bringing
be.
it to light.
He's going to be bringing it to light. He's going to be interviewing the first ever winners of this tournament series.
Awesome.
Now the tournament series itself is one of the most reputable in the state of Florida. We talk about it all the time. The Florida
yeah.
Redfish Series. But this one is a live, pro go live.
That's it.
Tournament.
Where the pros go live.
So you don't have to go to a specific area. You could fish from anywhere between Texas and North Carolina, I believe.
Pretty darn cool.
So pay attention to Captain Mario's interview with the winners of this tournament to find out how you can also enter into this very same tournament because it's a super cool concept.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. And as always, they are practicing conservation. So, but before we get into that, this is the last episode for another 3 weeks.
Somewhere in there.
So what we have coming up, Billy? What's a big season coming up?
Big old scallop season.
Scallops.
Scallops.
Scallops. Scallops.
July 1st, scallop season.
All right, so this is the last episode before scallop season, so we're going to let you know some basic stuff to have on the boat to get ready for the scallop season. We're also going to talk about some reports of scalloping and kind of the trends and what to look for and just kind of a start to it.
Yep.
So make sure you watch that. Now, Billy, hasn't been a whole lot of airboating today.
Not today. I think today would be a good day for sailing.
That's it.
Yep.
But the past few days have been pretty nice.
Pretty decent. Able to make it out there, playing the pretty waters out there. Decent amount of fish on the move. Waters have definitely been on the higher side. Getting out there, playing on the airboat. I didn't do a whole lot out into the reef itself, but playing in a lot of our backwaters, getting into the river systems. There's some really big pushes through there. Whether it's redfish, snook, I couldn't guarantee either one of those, but I do know it's one of the two. It's not the mullet. They have a distinct push. But you get into those bigger fish and that bigger push, it's really nice to get to see. A lot of movement playing in Little Homosassa area this time.
Saw that.
Yeah, it was nice to see. Wish I'd had a rod for the most part of it because seeing where those fish go and you get to watch them stop, it's like.
What's one thing I noticed, Billy, is the larger schools of fish, which we're starting to see a lot of big schools of redfish in particular.
They
right
are
now.
starting to gather.
They're not really concentrated with the the mass amount of mullet schools we have, but they're in that same area.
Yep. Yeah, they're not mixed in like you're saying, correct.
Yeah.
Yep. You'll find them maybe 40, 50 feet away from it. They do stay close to where they're feeding, but they are not gathered with the mullet like you'll typically find playing up against the mangroves.
So my last charter, we ran inland, we went back into Pea Pass and Stokes Bay area, and there was mullet jumping all along the west side banks. I mean, they were jumping around everywhere.
Some of the most mullet I've seen in a while.
There's a lot of mullet. We worked it for a little bit, and nothing really came about it. A couple catfish.
Mm-hmm.
We literally moved over to the east bank of the creek that we were fishing in.
Just looked all nice and calm.
There's redfish everywhere. Everywhere. So they were just on the other side of the little creek or river, whatever you want to call it, of Pea Pass, and there was redfish everywhere. It was, not a lot of huge ones. We got into one nice school of big redfish, but there was a lot of, mid slots and lower slots and under slots. Yeah. And hey, look who we got here. There they are. They're coming for the brisket.
That's it. I don't blame them.
Let's see if he can figure out how to open it. Luckily, Dari's there for him.
It's a push, not a pull.
But so that was one thing I noticed. Now Mario, is that typical for this time of the year? I mean, we always talk about follow the mullet. This time of the year, I mean, should we be still following the mullet but not really mixed in? Is there a reason why they're away from the big schools of mullet? Or
you know what? This is the first time I've actually seen the redfish away from the mullet schools. Like you were saying, it's very non-typical for these redfish to be away from the mullet. But since we started patterning that probably right before the winds started. So maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we started seeing more of the redfish away from the mullet schools. And I've been doing that exact same thing. I've been moving around, looking for the mullet schools, casting a few times, not seeing as many. We're still catching them in the mullet schools, but they're not in huge numbers. And going to the opposite shorelines where there isn't any of the mullet, and that's where we've been finding the
larger numbers.
Our big school fish. Yeah, the onesie twosies are still out underneath the mullet schools, but the big schools of redfish have all been away from the schools of mullet, which is very non-typical. So
pretty interesting. I mean, still goes back to the famous rule of follow the mullet, just kind of steer off a little bit to the other side of it.
Look around it.
Yeah, look around it. But all right, well, I tell you what, Billy, let's hope these winds die down the next few days, so we can get back in the airboat, get some better reports. But in the meantime, I really want to learn more about this Pro Go Live tour. So let's hit a commercial real quick.
I'm excited to hear about it.
Come back and let's see what Captain Mario's got to question these guys that won this big old tournament this weekend. So we'll be right back.
Now servicing the Central Florida area at Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Ocala, located on South Highway 441.
hello, good morning, or good afternoon. Welcome to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. I am Captain Mario Castello, and we are going to be talking about the Florida Redfish Series Pro Go Live Tournament. We got our first year, or our first team. It was Team Icy Red, which is John Hennessy or something like that, and Terry Hodges. And we also have the kayak division winner, Matt Weaver. But can you get him on the phone? Hey guys, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. All right, John and Terry, Team IC Red. First of all, congratulations on the win. It's awesome for the very first one of the series. That's always good to keep that first one under the belt right there. Talk to me a little bit how this series worked for our people that are listening out there today. If they don't know about the series, go ahead and talk a little bit about how the series works.
Well, the Go Live series and stuff started out with the Power Pole, and Chris and the Florida Redfish series kind of adopted it and branched off with it this year. But basically what it is you go live on Facebook when you hook up the fish, and you video the fish all the way into the boat. You keep the phone on the fish the entire time. Everybody has the exact same scale, which is a Catch Commander scale. You video the scale being zeroed out, show it on zeros, and then you weigh the fish, show the entire fish in the picture, and then show the release. And once you show all of that, you got to make sure, with the sun and everything, that you get the reading on the scale. We actually had one fish that we didn't get a good clear view of it because of the glare. So you just need to make sure you do that. And once you do that, you upload the video, you click publish, and it uploads it onto their Go Live Facebook page. And I guess they're back in their home or whatever in their office, and they basically monitor the videos. We actually got a call to tell us, hey, make sure you are showing the scale well enough to where we can see it, because we didn't on that one fish, but it just so happens it was a smaller fish, so it didn't hurt us. But so they're monitoring it the whole time, and they go through and see the videos and write down the weights and things like that. What it was this time was they did a 8-pound redfish and a trout up to 5 pounds. So it was a redfish trout combo tournament. The redfish could not be over 8 pounds. So if it's 8.01, he doesn't count. So you want to get as big as you can get without going over 8. The same with the trout. And that's basically how it works. And you go out there and you got to target the fish and catch the fish.
So these don't have to be in slot limits. So you can actually get a 30-inch redfish and actually use it for the tournament if it's below 8 pounds, correct?
Correct. If it's below 8 pounds.
Yeah, that redfish we caught this weekend was about what you said.
The big one?
Yeah.
It was 7 something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was 7.45.
Yeah, he was probably close to 29 inches. He was kind of skinny, so he wouldn't have been a good fish for a normal tournament, but he was perfect for what we needed for the day.
That's interesting how they have the rule change like that. That's very interesting. And also, using a social media platform in the series is something that's very unique. That's the first time I've ever heard of anyone ever doing that. That's pretty cool. But what are the limitations like for where you can launch? I mean, is there like on a map, like where can you start, where can you finish? Is it just the state of Florida? Is it does it include the whole Gulf Coast?
Fish anywhere, right? Anywhere from Texas all the way around to the Carolinas.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so anywhere.
That's
a large area.
Yeah, so you
it's
fish
big.
your home waters, or if you know an area that's better than your home waters, because everybody knows that Gary can't catch any redfish in tournaments down around the willows. So
they know you well, Gary.
I
They
was
know you
just
very well.
getting ready to say, Mario, I was just getting ready to interrupt and say these two guys are the reason why I enjoy fishing this so much, but I take that back now.
Yeah, we take it all back. We were going to save you
it's
some of this
okay.
brisket.
We can't catch fish in Crystal River either. We ran all the way to Pepperfish Key in the Crystal River tournament.
Exactly.
Oh, gotcha. All right, good deal. I just lost my whole train of thought right here. So.
Even with that, these two are world class. I love these guys. They are seriously the reason why I enjoy fishing this tournament. So
all right. From did you guys have to pre-fish any of this tournament? And were you like fishing in your home waters or whatnot?
We was fishing our home area, but we didn't pre-fish because of the fact we had fished a couple of weeks earlier in the Florida Redfish regular tournament, and actually done pretty good. But we had one fish that died on us, and it dropped us down to third. So we kind of kept in mind that that's what we was going to go back to that area. And we went back to the same area and messed around a little bit and about like y'all was discussing a while ago, the mullet was on one side and the redfish was on the other. And we just happened to get lucky and stumble up on them.
And what area is this? Where's your home waters at?
We were in the St. Mark's area. There's kind of an ongoing joke, but there's a lot of truth to it. If you're up here and if you can see the lighthouse, which we actually have a picture of the St. Mark's lighthouse in the background here, but if you can see the lighthouse, you're in a pretty good area when you're up here. So we fished in our area, just, Wakulla County, put in at Shell Point, and we had a plan for redfish. We always wanted to target the redfish early in the morning because we just – we love to catch redfish. So we went out and we targeted the redfish and started the day throwing top water, kind of got the idea that we would try to locate fish on the top water. And we had a few trout blow up on the top water that missed earlier in the morning that would have gave us a little bit more peace of mind. But Terry always likes to throw a top water, and I usually throw a spoon and stuff to start with and follow up behind his strikes and things like that if the fish are missing. But we located the area and started working toward it, eased in on the trolling motor. The redfish were there. I think we wound up catching 4 or 5 redfish before we caught the bigger fish that we wound up catching. Aqua Dream spoon, man. I throw the thing. I told Mike with Aqua Dream when we got on board, and we're, part of their pro staff and everything now. But, I throw their spoon about 70 to 75% of the time, and it works great for us. I knew there was redfish on the bank. We seen them moving around, and I started hitting the grass and then working my way out from the grass. And Terry was throwing top water, and then he switched over to a spoon, I believe, about that time. And I think we had like 5 redfish by about 8:15, 8:20. We had the big fish in the boat by 8:30, and then we had to do what I hate to do is leave fish that were biting, and we were catching fish. But the smart move in this tournament was because you had to have the trout as well, and we had a redfish over 7 pounds. We needed to go trout fishing, so we shut the redfish down, put the spoon up, moved to another area that we had caught some trout a few weeks before. Caught a little bitty small trout that was 0.7. Weighed it just because you had to have a redfish and a trout to qualify. So we did weigh that one on camera and put him up there. It was a micro trout, about 8 inches long, probably 9 inches long.
We caught several of them that day.
And then moved around a little bit, just kind of went out on the flats and started doing what we needed to do to catch, some trout, and had, several pound and a half, pound 0.7, 1.7 and stuff like that. And moved off there and then went to the bars, and that's where we targeted and finally found a big trout. Got a 3.73, I think, 3.73 pound trout. Really surprised me, and by the time we did that, we figured we were definitely in the money. We didn't know we won, and definitely didn't know we had won by the amount that we won by. Apparently, other people were having trouble catching fish Saturday because we definitely were not. I think we wound up the day with probably 8 redfish, and we probably caught 20, 25 trout over the course of up until noon. We stopped fishing about 11:45 and started heading in. We had a good day of fishing. Fish were biting.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, it's not every day you get a good day like that. That's pretty good. So this tournament series, you're able to fish both divisions, the trout and actually you're required to fish both divisions. That's kind of unique from any other tournament any other pro tournament that I've seen that's out there right now.
It was, and it kind of scared some people off, I think. I'm personally not a big trout person. The tournament director, Chris, posted on his webpage and everything, on his Facebook page the next day, and asked what people thought could be improved. And I think about 90% of the people that responded said get rid of the trout. And even though we had a 3.7 pound trout, I was in favor of getting rid of the trout too. I'm not comfortable catching big trout, and I know that there's some areas that they catch the interest and everything. It's a little easier in some areas in the summer to catch bigger trout than it is in our area.
Real quick,
big trout have been biting.
real quick, John, there's a difference between able and comfortable. So just FYI, you're not able to catch big trout. But our friend Joe here has got a question for you about the spoon action.
How fast were you working? Were you working it fast on top or letting it kind of bump the bottom and roll, or?
Both. I hate to say that, but both. Sometimes I just have a steady retrieve with the spoon, and believe it or not, I get a lot more action with a steady retrieve with my spoon than I do jerking it, twitching it. I may speed up the retrieve a little bit and slow it down, but I really, like I said, I throw it a lot, and I typically throw a steady retrieve. If I'm around grass and stuff like that, or around a bar, then, when I say grass, I mean grass that's above the water and stuff that I'm fishing in. And I fish a spoon in a lot of reeds and a lot of weeds. And then I'll typically jerk it a little bit more, kind of twitch it and get it out of the grass into the potholes and let it sink down and twitch it a couple of times. But typically I do a little bit of both. But I would say if I'm in open water, more likely than not, I'm going to keep a steady retrieve with it. And I seem to have a lot of bites on it.
I like
Good
it.
deal. Good deal. All right. Well, we have we've been seeing all these different tournaments and stuff like that. For you fished the other series also for the redfish, but we appreciate your time, and again, congratulations on this win. And I'm assuming that you're how many tournaments are in this division this year? Do you know?
I think there's 4 for this summer Go Live event, and I would definitely encourage people to get in it. The next one they've already put out, there's going to be a rule change. We're going to be shooting for 3 redfish,
nice.
Up to 8 pounds. So it'll definitely be different. The trout's gone for this next one. They may introduce it back and throw a curveball at us on the 3rd tournament. But the 2nd tournament is just going to be redfish only, and your biggest 3 redfish. You don't have to have 3 to qualify, but it's going to be tough to place in it unless you catch 3 redfish. So definitely more up my alley. I love the redfish. I love that part of it, and I would definitely encourage people to get online, go to Facebook page, go to the Florida Redfish Series, and there's links and stuff, and posts that talk about the tournaments, and you can fish it out of Crystal River. You can fish it anywhere. So 2 people on the boat. You can have a 3rd person as a camera person, which we did, a fellow partner of ours that fishes the Redfish Series with us, named Levi Campbell. He was gracious enough to jump on our boat and video for us, and that way me and Terry could focus on fishing and not one of us have to run and get the phone and
It
pick
helps
it up.
a lot when you have a cameraman to do the filming for you, for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to. There's one less thing you have to worry about. Is
One less
filming.
thing to have to worry about, correct?
Yeah, this is a 1 day for every tournament. This is only a single day. You said you fished on Saturday, correct?
Yeah, it was a single day, and it started at you couldn't have a line in the water before 6 a.m. And you had to be lines out of the water by 12 p.m. So it's only a half a day. I mean, I understand it's summertime. A lot of people's got families and obligated to do stuff with their families. I do too. We actually had a birthday party for my mother-in-law after the tournament. I was home, cleaned up, and out there on the grill by 1:30, 1:45, and we had a big pool party and everything for my mother-in-law's 80th birthday. So I didn't get fussed at for fishing, and
Nice.
It felt nice. You can go out and fish a half a day and be done, and by the time things really get rolling on the weekend, you're available to do it. So you don't get fussed at by the wife.
So do you know how you placed that same day, or is it like the next day or later that day?
Yeah, he said that he would let everybody know by 1 o'clock Eastern, and that was simply because you could be in Central Time Zone and fish it. So you had, you went by 6 to 12, whatever time zone you were in. Chris gave me a call actually, probably 12:30 Eastern, and he said I didn't think I have anybody left that's fishing in the Central Time Zone at all. So everybody was in the Eastern Time Zone that was fishing, and he kind of let us know how we did. We won for the bag, which was the trout and the red. We won the big red fish, and we actually had the biggest trout as well, but apparently I didn't register for the biggest trout. Imagine that.
Oops.
We left a little money on the table for somebody else.
Yeah.
I bet I know why Terry brought up the thing about the additional camera person, because he probably had John on the boat with like the Polaroid cameras or the old wind-up cameras trying to film everything.
You had to have somebody on the boat that had a modern day camera, that at least had internet access, right?
I'm just joking. I love you, John.
We appreciate you coming on the show with us, and again, congratulations for the win, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one too.
Definitely so. We'll be there.
Do. Thank y'all.
Hey, thank you guys. We'll see y'all in Steenahatchee. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, we're going over to Matt. Matt, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. This is Matt Weaver, and this was the first tournament you've ever fished. I'm getting a note right here.
First big tournament.
First big major tournament that you've ever fished, correct?
Yeah, Florida Redfish Series. Yeah, a couple local tournaments, yes, but mostly our local tournament actually told us about this one, so I figured I'd give it a shot because I'm on the water anyway. Might as well have a little fun and compete while I'm at it.
That's pretty awesome, and you did win the kayak division of this first Florida or the Pro Go Live tournament, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's awesome. Well, tell us about how your day started. Just say, actually, let me do this first. Did you end up pre-fishing this tournament at all?
I mean, well, I've been fishing another local tournament, a monthly tournament anyway. So I've been fishing a lot anyway, but this particular tournament, not really. I think I might have. I didn't really pre-fish. I might have got out Monday for an hour or so after work, but other than that, no. I actually had to change locations at the last minute because the weather and the lightning that morning, it was rough for a lot of people, and I had to go to a backup plan, which in the end ended up working out.
Yeah, it got hit. The weather hammered you guys up north this weekend for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, it did. It got pretty nasty.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty here too, but I know it did a number up north. But yeah, you did not pre-fish the tournament. This is, I would assume, you fished in your local home waters, correct? And that's the Panacea area.
Over in I live in Bay County actually. Mm-hmm. My plans were to actually fish a little bit down in St. Joe, big area known for pretty big trout.
Oh yeah.
An area when you're fishing trout and redfish and you need that big trout, I'm gonna go there every time. But I didn't have that option because the weather just had other plans, so I had to stay over here locally in Bay County and fish over in East Bay.
Yeah, I got you. All right, talk to me about how the tournament day went from the morning to the end.
Well, honestly, it like kind of like the boat guys, it went pretty well for me. I mean, I didn't have the big redfish of the day. I think my redfish ended up being the third biggest red total, but I had that fish. That was the first fish of the day, and I had her 20 minutes after I hit the water, and yeah, the trout came 15 minutes later. I mean, and then it was the rest of the day. It was just, I think I caught like 6 or 7 more reds. One that was 27 1/4 at the top, 26 3/4 at the bottom, and max you could be for the kayak division was a 27. So she didn't count. She had to go back. I mean, it was I would have loved to have her.
Man, that sounds like a pretty good day. You could have almost just came off the water at sunlight, at sunrise. Sounds like it.
Yeah. I mean, it was windy day, but I mean, the fish were chewing, and I mean, it was comfortable out there. I was like, I mean, I don't know who I'm competing against. I don't know what they're working with. So I gotta, keep searching for maybe a bigger fish, and I mean, I never found it, but luckily it still worked out.
Right.
So,
that was all you needed.
It went the other way.
Yeah. Talk to me about some of the baits and the tackle you were using.
All right. Well, it's over here in this area. We, our water, other than the windy days, our water's pretty clear up here. Mm-hmm. So you want to get out early, especially if you're trying to hunt a big trout. Get a because they're real line shy when it comes to real lure shy once that sun gets up. But I started out with top water, wasn't really getting their attention, and I switched over to a 2.5 inch like a KVD wake bait. I've become partial to those lately. I like the way they wobble just underneath the surface, and they create enough a disturbance just to get those fish's attention. And both the redfish and the trout came on them. I think I only packed a couple with me, and I broke a couple of them off. So by the end of the day, I was down to gold spoons and soft plastics.
Yeah, they that KVD bait works good. A lot of people don't understand that the trout eat a lot of freshwater baits. We use a ton of freshwater baits, especially when it gets cooler here in our area, Crystal River, Homosassa, Yankeetown area. But they work great.
What are those things? We used to call them pilchards, but it's a Maharas.
Yeah, grass maharas.
Yes,
silvery grass.
Yeah, because they last about 60 seconds, but they are lively as shit in the salt water, and then.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Live bait. Live bait is definitely live bait will definitely produce you a lot of numbers. I mean, I haven't been into live bait throwing, and it's been a long time. I got into lures about 15 years ago, and I haven't really looked back.
Yeah.
You know, Matt, I do have a question on the ProGo Live. Now, the regular series, you can only do artificial. Is that the same with the ProGo Live?
As far as what I read the rules, yes. This is strictly, as long as you're doing it legit like you should be, it's supposed to be strictly lures.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read in the rules that it is all still strictly, lures. I mean, I think that's where it creates the, challenge, because it's you against the fish. It's not,
Absolutely. So no gigs, no cast nets, just lures.
No, sir.
Because those are artificial too.
There's a loophole. There's those loopholes.
Yeah, definitely. I never thought about it that way, but yes, you're right. A gig is an artificial.
Well, if you notice in all tournament rules, pretty much across the board, they put in there rod and reel only.
Yes.
Or rod, reel, and line
specifically
only.
for guys like you.
Yes.
I got it. Well,
they don't call me Gary Loophole Bartell for no reason.
That's it. Hey, on your tournament day, do you have to go very far on your tournament day from your launch? You were saying the weather was really, really bad.
No, I mean, it's I caught a what was it? I think where I was St. Joe's an hour ahead of us here in Bay County.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was going to go there, technically it would have at 6 a.m. there is 5 a.m. our time. So when I changed spots, I had to come back over here to Bay County, which is an hour behind. So I had to wait. I had to actually wait till about 30 more minutes. I was wide awake and ready to go fishing, but I couldn't go. So I had to wait for that, wait for the start time. And I caught about an 18-inch trout in a bayou right across the road from where I launched. Couldn't do anything with it because tournament time hadn't started. And when I started, like I said, I probably only had to paddle. I mean, I came out of a little bayou up in East Bay, and I probably only had to paddle, 5 minutes before I started fishing, give or take.
That's nice when you don't have to go very far. Yeah, especially when the weather's crap.
The biggest thing is, I mean, I hate what it's kind of done, but I got to admit, man, Google Earth has definitely helped me find some good spots if you know exactly what kind of contour and bottom you're looking for.
Oh yeah, it's no secret, that's for sure. Everybody uses it. A lot of people up here use Google Earth because of all the oyster bars and the back creeks and stuff. Very easy to locate all of the good hot spots, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations again on the win. It was awesome. Hopefully we'll be able to get to see you here on the next 4 or 5 tournaments too. So good luck to you on all those.
I can only hope, sir.
So
Matt, definitely.
Matt,
we got one more question.
I do have one last question. I promise this is it.
Yeah.
What type of hat is that, and where can I find one? Because that thing is awesome.
It is a sharp hat.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it the whole time.
Yeah, that thing is sweet.
It's the only reason I bought this hat was because how cool it was. I got to admit, I actually got this, if I'm not mistaken, from the Tampa Bay Aquarium down in Tampa.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm funny about my hats. When I saw this thing, I was like, man, I got to have that.
Yeah.
I've been wearing it out. I mean,
I've been saying the same.
It's a lot of time on the water.
Could you do me a favor? See if there's a tag in the inside that says TM trademark. Just kidding, I'm kidding. We're good to go, right?
Don't see no TM.
All right, perfect. New OKM hat.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Matt.
All
All right. We appreciate you coming on, and like I said, congratulations on the win, bud.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good evening.
You too. Thank you very, very much.
All right, we are. I believe we're about to go to commercial. Yeah, we're going to go to commercial. Correct, Sean? Okay, we're going to commercial.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Oh, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right.
What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
All righty, we're at the Nature Coast
Financial advisors.
Tackle Table Talk.
Yeah.
We'll get that down. We'll get it down.
That's new.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we're talking about some important stuff that you're going to want on your vessel.
Need on the vessel.
Need on the
Yeah,
vessel.
I don't want, but a need.
So I thought maybe a fun thing that we could do is kind of do a back and forth. We'll each pick something on this table, talk about why it's important. There's some good items on here, a lot of stuff that people don't really think about
Absolutely.
too. Now, but before we get into that, I had a great idea for tonight's giveaway.
Okay.
Sure.
So our first episode is the second Tuesday in July.
Right.
What we're going to give away is a 4-person airboat ride
Oh, snap.
right before the show. And then those same 4 people are going to be our live audience that night. And we're going to give them some beers. We're going to get them some pizza or some food or something.
Y'all might want to pay attention.
And y'all are going to be able to watch Fish Talk live in person.
Awesome.
What do you think?
Yeah, I like
enjoy
that.
that.
That's good. That's real good.
And maybe that'll start the live audience thing that we've talked about for the past 18 years now.
Yeah, we'll have to get more seats.
Yeah, we'll definitely get more seats. All right, Mario, you go first.
All right, let's see what do we have on the table. First thing, we have our dive gear. I'll talk about the dive gear. All right, when you're going scalloping, you're going to want to get a good fitting, comfortable mask. The mask is very important. Can't see underwater without it, definitely. Mask, snorkel, and fins. Fins are optional. I have a lot of people that actually they're uncomfortable wearing fins. So, and most of the time we're in shallow enough waters that you really don't need the fins anyways, but a mask and snorkel for sure. A couple of quick tips on the mask. You should have any kind of like a defogger because just the heat of your body heat will fog up the inside of your mask. So a good commercial defogger, what they call it, spit. Yeah, I think they call it spit. But that stuff works really good. Just wipe it on the inside and rinse it out. But if you don't have a commercial defogger, you can always use baby shampoo. Yeah, right here. Oh, here it is right here. Baby shampoo. This stuff right here, Johnson's baby shampoo. No more tears. This stuff works really good.
Yeah.
What I do is I'll wash the inside of the mask with that baby shampoo, and it works just almost as good as the defogger and with a fraction of the cost. A couple other things you're going to need is your catch bag, of course, to put your scallops in, and but the mask and the snorkel and the fins. Another quick tip that a lot of people don't know: if you do wear the fins, it's always good to just grab a pair of socks and put them on so you don't get chafed up from the plastic on the fins.
My first 2 days of scalloping, I have to wear socks, break in the back of the heel, and then I can go without.
Yeah.
But I always just put a regular old pair of socks on, and I usually have a couple extra pairs on the boat if people don't bring them with them. But that's just pretty much the basic on the dive gear.
I like it. Yeah, and another good alternative to baby shampoo. Let's say you're going to go scalloping with the out-of-town family, and you say, shoot, I didn't grab defogger. In your cabinet, almost everyone besides Sean has this, is toothpaste.
Yep.
So that makes a really good defogger. You just don't want to use the kind with the crystals or the grit.
Yeah. My favorite is the all white, the original Crest.
Yeah.
That stuff is the best when it has come to a defog.
Yeah.
It leaves you with a good minty fresh eyeball.
I agree. Billy, pick an item.
Along with that is going to be Vaseline.
Yep.
Vaseline for the bearded folks like myself.
Oh, that's the reason. Sorry.
Yeah, we weren't sure where this was going.
I thought it was date night.
Since it is Billy.
For some of us, shaving the mustache down to where that mask will actually make a seal under your nose is, quite not an option. So Vaseline, honestly, that thick petroleum jelly, you smear it into your beard, and when you put your mask on, it creates that seal for you, and that is my saving grace come to scallop season.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
After defog, just go ahead and get that mustache good and lubed up, and you're ready to ride.
It's a two-parter too. And one of my favorite things.
Ready to ride. Oh my gosh.
One of my favorite.
Whoops.
This thing went south really quick.
One of my favorite things about Vaseline for trips each year is when you get that client on the boat that you could see the tan line.
Oh yeah.
Where they just shaved. Like, I shaved to go scalloping. Why?
Yeah.
There's Vaseline. But number two, back to what Mario said, blisters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that makes it nice, to put it on your heels. If you start chafing up, that's a saving grace right there.
Absolutely. Backs to the heels. I mean, after you get a blister for the first hour and you're out there for 4 to 6 hours, that's a day ruiner.
Yeah.
If you're really hesitant about putting Vaseline around your beard or whatnot, you can always get a pair of swim goggles. Those ones that you see the swimmers use that only cover your
just for the eyes.
They don't work quite as well, but they'll work in a pinch, and they won't leak around your beard because they don't even cover your beard. It just goes over your eyeball.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my item is your typical 5-gallon bucket, but
FWC will appreciate that.
There's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Everyone always thinks, and we always hear about these horror stories every year about someone getting a ticket because they got too many scallops, and they say, I put
those tickets are not cheap.
I filled up 2 5-gallon buckets from Lowe's or Home Depot, and I don't understand. I still had 12-gallon scallop. That's because your 5 gallons is actually right here. It is not to the top. So if you see on the inside, these are the one that the Not Your Mother shuckers that do our scallop shucking each year. They actually measured out this bucket. Or Dari, did you measure this out?
Yeah.
No? Oh.
I should just use it.
They took a measuring cup. They actually measured out the gallons in it. But your 5-gallon bucket is
It's
only
right at the handle.
Right at the handle.
About the handle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And no one, not a lot of people realize that too. So
it'll get you in trouble if you don't realize it. It's not cheap.
Do you actually know why they make the buckets taller?
Spill.
This is a food grade bucket. Almost all the buckets are designed as food grade, and this is for interstitial space. They call that. It's usually a 10% interstitial space for expansion for the food that's inside of it.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's just what it is. It's usually a 10%.
Learn something new every day. There it was.
Yes, and when you mix paint, also it doesn't spill over. So
Well, I don't think it's truly called a 5-gallon bucket. I think that's just what we refer to it as.
I guess.
Right? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a label that says 5-gallon bucket.
No.
But your 5 gallons will be to the handle.
Yes.
Of your standard bucket.
Yeah. And like the Yeti buckets, I think they're 7 gallons all the way to the top.
More than likely, they're a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, their handle goes to the top too.
So that's fine. All right, real quick, Mario, number 1 tip for while you're in the water scalloping, what's your number 1 tip for people?
Don't die.
There it is, folks.
Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 tip.
For finding the scallops, I tell people to stay on the surface if we're in less than 5 feet of water. I tell them to look straight down and don't pan around so much. You're wanting to focus. Your line of focus is just going to be a little bit wider than your shoulder width. Yep. Just keep on looking down because don't really pan off to the side because a lot of times they swim right over them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and make sure if you wear glasses, make sure you have contacts in because again, you're 3 to 4 to 5 feet away from these scallops. You won't be able to see them if you're nearsighted like me. Yeah. So you have to wear your contacts if you wear any kind of corrective lenses so you can see, or have prescription goggles.
Yeah, something that for coming to scalloping that I don't know why, but anytime I ever hear an outboard below the surface, my head pops up.
Yeah.
I pop up, do a quick pan 360, double check that boat's not coming anywhere near you because believe it or not, your 4 strokes are mighty loud below the surface.
Yeah.
And you can hear them every bit of 100 yards away. So if you do hear a boat, just pop your head up, double check your safety, and continue on.
Yeah, that's
that's my biggest.
That's a great point because people, you'd be surprised how far you can hear that motor.
Oh, it's wild.
But you'll also be surprised how fast that motor can get to you too.
Because not everybody follows the rules.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ned Red?
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so Ken Klamer's got a new device has come out, scallop sizer. If the scallop goes through the hole, it stays in the water.
Interesting.
Haven't seen it.
Interesting.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. I just haven't seen it.
So Sean's saying it's like a postcard. It's got like a 2-inch cutout. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The IFAS. Yeah.
So the University of Florida came out with it. That's awesome. I didn't even know about that.
I mean, there was, it happens. You get back to the docks and your clients had thrown everything in, and you look and it's like, I don't think I'd have kept that.
Yeah.
Just it's not worth that little itty bitty chunk of meat.
All right.
All right.
Dee has a question.
Can we talk about Gulf of Mexico poops?
Yes.
Aqua dumps?
Aqua dumps.
Is that what she's talking about?
Pinfish feedings.
Yeah,
I call it.
I believe that's it. Yeah.
I introduced that to Matt Kleckner.
That was the greatest thing ever.
About 3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago. And he called me nuts crazy. I said,
he was like, never.
Yeah.
Never will I ever. I will hold it until the after the
So
trip.
for scallop season, Mario, I'm not joking you. I cannot take a dump unless I'm out on a scallop trip.
Wow.
Yep, I tell all my people, if the current's going back there, I'm all like, guys, the scallops are way in front of the boat up there. And so I was telling Matt this, and he's like, you're nuts, you're crazy, you're a wild ginger. And then the end of the season, he comes back, and he's like,
it was
Garrett,
about 2 weeks before
I got to tell you something. He's like, I can't not take a dump unless I'm on a scallop trip. I said, I told you. All the pinfish start. Anyway, now here's my tip. Keep 2 things of petroleum jelly. Because bathing suits with the netting,
the liners,
yes. That sucks. But you don't want to use the same one for your beard as you do for your.
I got you.
My tip. No, my tip is I always tell my guests to set up grids. You always see the people that freestyle and they end up working the same exact spot
over and over. I've done it to myself.
So if you work grids, and I always ask to start behind the boat first. With the power pole, if you're using power pole, if you're using an anchor in front of it,
right.
And then you kind of go, up 50 feet, slide over 10 feet, back up, And that way you're kind of saving yourself with that current, saving your breath. Slide over, go 50 feet.
Pop up, check where the boat is. Okay, judge about 10 feet over and try again.
And that way you work that 100-foot radius at maximum capacity. And then that's my second or my third tip. Stay within 100 feet of the boat. A boat can easily move. There is no reason to go way away from a boat.
Absolutely.
A boat can very easily move, and you can very easily get hit. We've been very fortunate, knock on wood, that we haven't had any injuries. But with the more and more traffic, if you guys can stay as close as possible to your boat, it is illegal for a boat to come in with over idle speed of 100 yards, 300 feet away. They can idle as close as they want, though.
Yep. Right. That's a scary thought. I worry more about boaters, and that's why I brought it up on my tip, than I do with sharks or anything else out there.
Right. And
I truly worry about boaters more than anything.
Not everybody follows the rules, so
not at all.
I've seen it more times than I can even talk about, that people run right on plane within 50 to 100 feet.
And if you see it, do not be afraid to call them out on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got another tip for you too. If you see that big 24-foot boat that says OKM on the side of it, you need to be up for it.
I'd be fishing if I were you.
All right, that's my other tip.
I like that tip. All right, and then I just saw a comment from Nature Coast Anglers that the University of Florida is giving away those free.
Oh, that's awesome. Little measuring devices.
The Brooksville office.
That's really cool.
We'll reach out to them tomorrow, see if we can't get some here. I love that idea.
Yep, 100%.
All right, tonight's trivia question. How do you, the first 6 people to answer this, by the way, is going to get added to the Hydro Deck Extreme Decalz Reel of Fortune. How do you properly spell Captain Teddy's last name?
If you can read the koozie, you may have it.
How do you spell Captain Teddy? That guy's right out of OKM. How do you spell his last name?
Love you, brother. The mullet man himself.
The mullet man himself.
Is he exempt? Is Teddy? Because he is watching right now. He might not get it right. Yeah, that's right. It is Teddy.
He's exempt. He's exempt. He's exempt. I'll invite him to the show anytime. But the first 6 people is going to have a chance to win. The person that could win or will win, however you want to say that, is going to get 4 passes to the airboat ride on the next episode of Fish Talk. The second Tuesday of July. We're going to wine you. We're going to dine you. You're going to come back, watch Fish Talk Live. You're going to have a great night, and make sure you have a DD.
So
obviously.
You are filming through July too?
No. We start back.
The second week of July.
The first week, no. The second week.
The second week, because July 4th is the first week.
I got you.
We're not going to do that to her.
I don't blame you.
Okay. We're not doing that to any of us.
So that being said, do we have a commercial, or are we going straight to? All right, so the first 6 people to answer, what is Captain Teddy? Oh, it's already done? Is there an accent mark?
No.
There's no accent mark. See, that's where I've been screwed up this whole time.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to do a little Reel of Fortune.
Spin it to win it.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night. Sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour toward the light.
Sabalitos.
Sun does come. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
All right. I see the back of Aubrey's head. Thank you. Well, all right. So we have our 6 guests. So, I missed it too. What did I do? Jerry's losing it.
Go ahead.
Here with the Extreme Decalz.
Where's that Vaseline?
Reel of Fortune. I don't know. I have one over here eating brisket and the other one's losing it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and assign everybody with their fish. And
Where's that?
right there. You can hold that one. There it is. All right. So we're going to go ahead and spin it. See who got this in the correct... how do you spell his last name? S-H-U-P-E? Shoop?
Right there, Gary.
Shoopa-loop.
It is the Shoopa-loop.
Shoopa-loop.
All right, so we're gonna spin, see who gets this.
Let's see. Grouper.
That's gonna be a minute. I'm going for shrimp.
Are you?
Who's on shrimp?
Redfish.
Aubrey. Pompano.
Keeping her roll.
Three.
Oh.
Black drum.
Redfish. It is. We have John
Hensey.
Oh wow.
Look at there.
John Hensey.
Yeah. Man, he won twice this week. How about that? He was the boat winner for My Sea Red.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Congratulations, John. See, now you got to come down to Crystal River.
That is it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Fish Talk Live. Again, we will be back in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
The second Tuesday in July. Now, Captain Mario, do you, as soon as you finish that brisket there, you want to tell everyone what you've got going on this coming Tuesday and your special guest you've got?
Yep, we have the seminar at Cedar River Seafood. It's going to be next Tuesday. Starts at 7. You want to get there early and stuff your face like I'm doing right now.
I say, did you just put brisket in your hair? That's what it looked like.
A little slick back, yeah. Maybe a little Vaseline too. But our guest speaker is Captain Misty Kelly.
All right.
Oh, nice.
A2 Fishing Charter.
Good deal.
Very nice.
She's going to be talking about freshwater and saltwater here in Crystal River and some of the stuff on the local lakes, Henderson and Salapopka and stuff like that, where she fishes a lot.
Her father was a legend in the Keys.
And I was the one to take him on his last fishing trip before he passed away. But yes, he was awesome. a legend. Jack Kelly, Captain Jack Kelly.
Is a legend.
Yes, for sure. But she's going to be there, like I said, talking about inshore Crystal River and a little bit of freshwater.
Can't wait to hear about that. That'd be sweet.
That's going to be fun.
Good times. Good
And the food there. Oh, my God, the food is so good.
The portions.
Shrimp tacos.
The portions, you're right.
Oh, God.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Billy-sized portions. Perfect. All right. Well, Mario, we're excited, man.
Yeah, man.
Billy.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank
Mario,
you so much
thank
for
you.
watching another episode. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. And most importantly, thank you to all of y'all. Please be sure to like and share this live feed. That will really help us grow and help us offer new stuff and new content.
Keep us on the roll.
But we love just being here. So we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Have a safe start of the scallop season. And be sure to show up to Captain Mario's Fish Talk seminars this next Tuesday.
Yep.
So, all right.
All right.
Thank you all.
We're out.
See?
I don't know where it came from.
Tune in this Friday.
Tune in this Friday.
Because what? Damn.
I quit.